In this video, we're going to give you a tour of Passeig de Gràcia, which is one of the most famous and important avenues in the city of Barcelona. Let's get walking.
All right, time check. It is 12:30. We're leaving from the neighborhood in Sagrada Familia. So let's see how long is the walk from here to Passeig de Gràcia. Just left our hotel. Here is again our view. Make sure if you're interested in, check out where we are staying. A hotel that has a multi-million-dollar car collection in its basement as a exhibition that you can go see. Hispano Suiza cars, 7 of them. You can check out the video of our hotel if you're interested. And now we walk. The streets around our neighborhood are actually really nice. Look.
Yes.
Even the graffiti behind Alia and the brick buildings, it's a very Barcelona feel.
Yes.
We have been here 5 times, so this is our 5th time now.
And in our experience, I do personally believe that Barcelona is one of the best cities to just walk. It's a very walk-friendly city. It's architecturally very rich, so you do get to see a lot of beautiful historical buildings. For the most part, it's always felt safe. I don't know if that's true or not, but in our experience, we've always felt very safe walking around the streets of Barcelona.
A lot of the time we have walked these streets walking to Sagrada Familia, and I've always wondered what is it like to live here rather than on Passeig. We recommend Passeig. If you can get a hotel on Passeig de Gràcia, it's really nice because you're right there in the action.
Yeah.
But even if you stay by Sagrada Familia, it's nice.
Passeig de Gràcia that we are walking towards was initially designed as a wide boulevard in 1820s, and the purpose of it was to create a passage between the growing city center and the rural village of Gracia, which at that time was not part of the city.
Now there's plenty of walk signals. You don't have to press any buttons. The walk signals open up automatically all the time. Time to time, you're gonna come across these nooks and crannies where you can see the couple sitting there.
It's like a play area for little kids.
On this corner, there's a nice restaurant called Bristol. It's a gastropub. Like we mentioned, we have stayed in Barcelona 4 previous times, and 2 at least of those times we went to Passeig de Gràcia to stay on. First time was in a apart hotel called Apartment 62 next to Hotel 64, right on Passeig. It was really nice. And then the second time it was Bass Apartments. I actually don't think Bass Apartments exist anymore.
Passeig de Gràcia was initially a residential area for Barcelona's upper class with mansions and elegant buildings, but over time it has transformed into a cultural and a commercial thoroughfare.
Passing by these cars, trucks for Billy Brunch. There was a long line in front of it, but those 2 cars looked pretty attractive. A lot of young crowd sitting there, and their plates look pretty full and delicious. You checking out those plates too?
Somebody's hungry. No, I was trying to read because it did look something unusual, so I was trying to see if there was any history behind it.
There's no lack of restaurant shops. Today is Sunday, so a lot of the shops are closed. Grocery store, and it is open. Every bakery here looks pretty appetizing, smells delicious.
I was gonna say that, and every few steps you do see a nice bakery, and it does look very inviting.
Maybe you should stop at one. There is a donut store called Chalk at the end of Passeig, close to La Rambla. Our goal is to probably pick up some donuts from there. The whole point of making this video is we wanted to show you guys what Passeig de Gràcia looks like, because the first time I came to Barcelona, I went to La Rambla. That's the touristy thing to do. Eastern Barcelona, by the way. But it was not until Ali and I stayed right on Passeig de Gràcia that we realized how nice that neighborhood is. Check out the balcony that's right above us. They've put glass. That looks really nice. Good looking buildings and architecture across Barcelona. If you like to look at and stare at different type of buildings, I mean, I'm from New York City, kind of grew up walking around Manhattan, and if you just look up, not the modern ones, but like some of those 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s buildings, they are pretty unique, and each one of them have their own character. So it's a sushi restaurant.
That's googly eyes.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me?
What?
Mrs. Puff from SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, that's what Mrs. Puff looks like in real life. Garbage containers in Barcelona are all color-coded. Green, yellow, brown, and the two blues. Yeah, I kind of like the organization.
Yeah, even if you see the mouth of every bin is different based on what is supposed to go in it. So this is probably for bottles, yeah, so it's round and you can just throw in bottle. Taiwan.
There's another supermarket. If you're looking for like quick snack or cheap water, a lot of construction. Now we are next to Casa Batllo,
Ooh,
a Gaudi building.
I see it.
You see a Gaudi building?
Isn't that Passeig de Gràcia?
Yeah, that is Passeig. So here we are on Passeig de Gràcia in front of apartment 64. This is the building. And our room was right up there. These two. And there's pictures of us on these two balconies. It was a full-on apart hotel. We actually had included breakfast, and in the morning, right from Hotel 62, they catered croissants, a full basket.
Full basket of
You know?
Breakfast.
So nothing like doing some people watching on the Passeig. That's one of the things that is quite relaxing and enjoyable, to the point where it's putting some people to sleep. So we sat here maybe about like 20 minutes, and Alia keeps telling me, okay, I'm falling asleep. And
It is so relaxing.
it is very relaxing. We were recreating this memory. I have a picture here with Khiz and Isa with their grandfather sitting here like 8 years ago. And so we were kind of recreating that moment. We wanted to book the same hotel. When I looked at the pricing, it's about 400 euros per night. You know, compared to our existing one, our Hispano Suiza 7 is 200 euros. It is really nice. I actually really enjoyed people watching, sitting here, checking out what fancy clothes people are wearing. I just saw two ladies walk around with their fur coats.
Passeig de Gràcia does offer you a great vibe, and then there's a lot of shopping, even though high-end, not really for us, but it's amazing. Like, you have Chanel here, you have Boss, but the whole street just to walk around is amazing, and there is a lot of food options as well.
Right, Dior, Gucci. It's, you know, it's like taking the Dubai Mall and splitting it open, or
Outdoors.
Fifth Avenue in New York, right? And dropping it here, so it has those type of stores, but there's also general retail stores for people like us.
Yeah.
Now El Periodico, a newspaper stand with a lot of touristy Gaudi souvenirs. Kids is eyeing souvenirs. That's called eyeing souvenirs.
Now, between 1936 and 1939, during the Spanish Civil War, this area, Passeig de Gràcia, did suffer some damage because the city was heavily bombed, but most of it was restored later. And now, because of its architectural and historical significance, Passeig de Gràcia and most of its buildings are protected under the city's cultural heritage. Now, welcome to Casa Milà. This building behind us is, of course, a Gaudi creation, and this was the first building in Barcelona to use reinforced concrete, which allowed Gaudi to create curved forms, which he's known for. And this building was officially recognized as the World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1984. How gorgeous is that? Like we said many times, Barcelona is oozing with architectural beauties, but Gaudi's buildings, if you take one look at it and the curved forms, you can tell that this is a unique design.
Between metal and concrete or brick.
Can you imagine standing on one of those balconies and the
I wonder
balcony
if the
fences is like all warped up?
walking underneath the building and just looking up with the curved balconies, that is quite a scene. Very surreal, Alia. Yeah, very
Yeah,
surreal.
you should feel it. It is fun.
Yeah.
And look at the design of that pillar and the gap in between the window. So interesting.
Like this this texture. Getting a couple of ideas for a bathroom, huh? As you cross Casa Milà, you can just check out how nice, relaxing and open the sidewalk becomes. Even probably on touristy times, the farther you move up Passeig de Gràcia, it becomes nice and quiet. You still have some fancy stores here. Ferragamo is up next. Michael Kors
You have Dolce and Gabbana and
Dolce and
Valencia on the other side.
and Mont Blanc. So
It's endless. The
It's
shopping
endless.
here is endless.
next up is Panerai, Golden Goose. Now end-to-end walk is about half hour on Passeig de Gràcia. It's very, very close to La Rambla. So you're docking on a cruise ship again, or you have a quick 1 or 2 day layover, make sure you come and do this walk. Kind of like the iconic Fifth Avenue walk in New York City. Crossing the road to the other side, got a nice square. And every time I see something like this, I gotta go in and read. The intersection between the Avinguda Diagonal and Passeig de Gràcia is popularly known as Cinc de Oros, 5 of coins, Spanish deck of cards, due to the image formed by the central roundabout and the 4 side islets present at the beginning of the 20th century. The Republican City Council in 1931 erected a monument, and in 1939 the pro-Franco City Council changed the meaning of the monument by transforming it into a military obelisk. So I actually like reading a little bit of history. First chains of, I would say, a US fast food, Starbucks here, with a little seating area outside. Mont Blanc, I really like their logo. We're checking out the Mont Blanc pens, and there's 3 of them here. 450 is the smallest one. Years ago, one of my bosses actually gave me a pen, the smallest one here, but mine is gold. It was just in my drawer for years. And then one day I looked at the logo and that logo looks fancy. And I Googled it and it was that pen. Ever since then, I'm a proud owner of a pen that one of these boys will inherit. He just said dibs. Or cover for your pods, $390.
The bag is actually 3,150.
Both his and Isa, here's my fatherly advice. Work hard, go to school, and once you get all that money to buy something like this, don't save
buy
it. Yeah, save it. I like that, Isa. We're gonna do a side street. This is Passeig de la Concepción. So when you see a side street like this, naturally you want to go in and walk through it. And Aldi and I love streets like these.
This reminds me of a street in Miami, South Beach, and that street is called Hispaniola Way. And right now we are in Spain, and so Hispaniola Way is probably living up to its name.
Yeah, all these plants
Yeah.
just really changes the vibe of the city, especially it's winter, to see some of these plants. And I might be wrong, but some of these are, seems like tropical.
Yeah.
So we came out of that gate over there, and this area is Alia's favorite, in parallel to Passeig de Gràcia.
Yes, this is Rambla de Catalunya, and this is another one of our favorite streets in this neighborhood. You can see now this is again full of shopping. You will also find restaurants here. There's pharmacy and beautiful to walk on, so peaceful.
Interesting piece about this one is there's roads on the side, and in the middle a wide open area with restaurants, and it's all pedestrian. And if you keep walking on this, you're gonna hit La Rambla. So we're gonna take you all the way till the end here. Right next to Alia is more quieter than some of the other restaurants we passed by. But from a pricing perspective, everything is between 9 and 10 euro. The most expensive is about 13 to 14 euro. So less expensive than if you're in Paris, London. More expensive, of course, if you're in Lisbon. Rambla de Catalunya keeps going until you hit neighborhood of La Rambla. Check out these windows up there. We can actually head back to Passeig de Gràcia and go and complete that tour. But hopefully this gave you enough of an idea of what this area looks like. Parallel street, don't be shy crossing over or searching for Rambla de Catalunya and go for a walk here. So we are back that's where Hotel 64 is. That's where we were hanging out. You guys saw a little time lapse of people walking by that building. That's the street we're coming out of. And now we're gonna go. Okay, there's somebody with his pants down. That sculpture that was there, that was an art museum. So, Alia, we're approaching our second Gaudi building on Passeig de Gràcia.
You saw me taking my phone out so I can research.
Look at the crowd. Welcome to Casa Batllo.
So Casa Batllo was not a new construction project, but it was in fact a renovation of a building designed in 1877 by Emilio Sala Cortés, who was actually Gaudi's teacher during his architecture studies. Now the initial idea was to knock down the house. Thanks to the courage shown by Gaudi, it was ultimately decided to carry out a full renovation, transforming a classic style building into a masterpiece of modernism, full of imagination and creativity.
So this is Casa Batllo. You can check out if you miss it, if you can't recognize it, which would be shocking. You can just follow the crowd. If you see a massive crowd, you've reached Casa Batllo. No offense to anybody who loves Gaudi or to Gaudi himself. I actually love Casa Batllo. But every time we come and sit on one of these benches and stare at that building, we fall in love with this one, even more so than this. So let us know in comments below, between Gaudi and this, which one is your favorite? Right in front of Casa Batllo is McDonald's. Next to Tapa Tapa. At the end of the street on Casa Batllo is this a beautiful building. So architecture-wise, this is a beautiful place to walk around and admire.
Honestly, this one's my favorite.
This is your favorite?
Yeah.
I may have to agree with that. It's beautiful. Look at those circular balconies on the second floor.
Especially that dome right in front of it.
The dome too, very nice. Coming to a nice big opening, Alia. Check out this sculpture. Looks like a water, yeah, it is a water fountain, and a working water fountain too. Maybe a couple of streets behind, that's the place. It used to be called Bass Apartments. It was this massive balcony with sleeping beds. We'll see if we can find a picture and drop it here. So this neighborhood to stay is fantastic because you're middle point between some of the Gaudi buildings and La Rambla, which you can see as you walk closer to La Rambla, it gets crowded and crowded. Make sure you come back and check out our walking through La Rambla, because we always find it fascinating. So there's a Lego store here, and they have built a Gaudi sculpture out of. That's incredible. All right, now we are coming to, I'm gonna call it the Pigeon Square. So this is where his and Isa fed a bunch of pigeons.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, there was like a bunch of something.
Okay, by the way, anybody who say don't travel with kids when they're young, they won't remember anything, that's not true. They remember details of our travel when they were 5, 6 years old. And right there, oh yeah, you can see the pigeons. Welcome to Plaza de Catalunya. Hope you guys enjoyed coming along this walking experience of Passeig de Gràcia and Rambla de Catalunya, all the way from Sagrada Familia. That's the neighborhood we are staying in. And hopefully for anyone who has watched this video, if you're coming here on a cruise ship, quick layover, now you know, go for a walk. It's actually such a nice walk. Or we didn't show you guys, but sit in one of the restaurants, have an experience, have a local experience.
Or if you're deciding to stay here, that gives you an idea of the neighborhood to choose from.
On that note, we're gonna catch you guys in the
Next one.
bye for now.
Bye.
Yeah, that pigeon is very different. That's like a camouflage
That's a
pigeon.
beautiful one.
You're popping with the yellow color. The only yellow is on the garbage bin.
Or the street lights.
Oh, this. Oh yeah. No, there's a lot of yellow. I was just trying to tease her. Really. Okay, when we were walking in Panama City, that boardwalk, we stopped and talked about garbage, and people were commenting like so. So if you're interested in garbage, you can subscribe to His and Isa, and we'll show you different garbage bins around the world. Passing by Os Coyo. Alia is walking by Valentino. Alia, you look like Valentino. Alia, what are you wearing?
Who
No,
am
I know you're wearing. Yeah, what are you wearing? Are you wearing Valentino?
Yeah.